fall.
Stop.
When the Empire falls, you'll have a fourth life.
Stop.
A new Demerzel is going to walk out of the palace. She can start to clean. Embrace it.
I cannot embrace it. You're mistaking me for a human. I am not.
Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your TMB homie, Tony, and we are back with another wild chapter in our favorite STEM soap opera, Foundation. This one's titled The Stress of Her Regard, which sounds like Jane Austen co-wrote an episode of Black Mirror. And honestly, that's exactly what we got. Folks catching feelings, betrayals, and full-on horror movie jump scares, all under the cold, calculated glare of Demerzel. This wasn't just an episode, it was a full-blown emotional audit. Every major player had to ask, who's watching me? Who do I trust? And why do I suddenly feel like a pawn in someone else's long game? But before we dive into all the betrayal, psychics, and petty Cleonic drama, go ahead and hit that like button, slap subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss any of these deep dives. If you've been stressing about catching up, don't worry. I regard you. Let's get into it. We open up with the reveal that we've been waiting on since season 1. And it hits like a neutron bomb. Who blew up the Star Bridge? Not Anacreon, not Thespis, nah. It was Demerzel. Our favorite 1,000-year-old robo-matriarch kamikaze 2 entire planets' reputation and made it look like religious terrorism just to protect psychohistory. Why? Because she knows the Cleons. She's watched them for generations, and her analysis is flawless. These dudes leads with their feelings, not facts. Every major Cleonic decision has been emotional. So, Demerzel, being built to watch and remember, played puppet master in order to extend the dynasty's shelf life by getting Harry banished to Terminus instead of executed. And I'm floored, not just because we finally closed the season 1 mystery, but because we finally get how Demerzel thinks. It's not cruelty, it's calculus, it's survival. But what's even more terrifying is that Demerzel starts going even further in her quote-unquote confession when she says that although she doesn't take the deaths of the innocent people lightly, she felt it was necessary in order to extend the reign of the Cleonic dynasty. Because of the incident with the Star Bridge, it compelled Cleon to take a more merciful approach with Harry and the Foundation. So rather than murking him for heresy, Cleon instead sent him on that long road to Terminus without access to jump space. Enter Betrayals. She's the one Demerzel decides to get philosophical with. Betrayals decides to challenge Demerzel's logic with Gen Z energy by pointing out how Demerzel's actions to preserve the Foundation may have helped the Cleonic dynasty in the short term, but in the long term, she helped an opponent get its footing. Betrayals and I theorize that Demerzel is playing the long game to try to free herself from her programming by manipulating circumstances while bending the rules of her programming without breaking them. Betrayals challenges her further with, you might have bought the dynasty time, but you handed the Foundation a power-up, and she's not wrong. Then she goes full Dateline interview with Demerzel and starts asking her about her past as a general. Bad move. Demerzel pulls out the horror movie bag, her face peels open, I almost threw my popcorn. It's a full reminder, she's not human. She's not here for your therapy session. Meanwhile, over on Ignis, Gale's back in the mix with Pritchard and Palver, and listen, I get it. I was dead wrong about Pritchard being Salvor's descendant. Gale straight up kisses this man like she ain't worried about DNA. Definitely Hopefully, not a Game of Thrones situation of incest being cool. Definitely, hopefully not. Anyway, this show has me questioning everything, all right? But something's off with Pritchard. He confesses that he was compromised by the Mule. And y'all, when they probe his memories, it's not just a memory. The Mule is lurking inside. It's the kind of twist we see in television. And the writers of Foundation really did a great job of planting twists in plain sight in season 2. It's giving psychic Malware vibes. My guy looks thirsty, sus, and dangerous. I ain't buying his poor me vibes. They also confirm that the Mule's powers are amplified by Magnifico's instrument. And the Mule is lonely, like, I just want a hug, but I'll control the galaxy lonely. Next up, Gale swimming in a lake like it's a perfume commercial, while getting visions of her future SmackDown with the Mule. She confirms she's still having these visions, even to this day. And I can't help but wonder if she's still seeing Salvor in those visions. I got questions. And right after the swim, Gale and Pritchard get cozy. Real cozy. Like, let's restart civilization cozy. It wouldn't be the first time. Back on the space station above Terminus, we see Ablamus, who trashed Counselor Garrow in episode 1, now suddenly BFFs with him. Plot twist. The way this man was trashing Counselor Gallo, you would think these two couldn't get along. But it actually seems like the two of them in this moment are actually working together. Ablamus comes through and tells Garrow that Empire has the Prime Radiant, and they need to start activating their Trantor agents. And then there's Ambassador Quint. She finds out Empire has the Prime Radiant from Frick and Frack and loses her mind. She corners brother Dusk like immediately and is like, so you had time for pillow talk but not to mention the fate of civilization? Dusk folds faster than laundry on laundry day. He confesses Harry shared the Prime Radiant with Cleon the 17th during Crisis number 2. I wasn't even born yet, but here, I'm telling you everything that I know. Demerzel, give me the Prime Radiant so I can show this girl. Then, after struggling with the interface, he boots up the Prime Radiant and gives her the Doomsday download. The math ain't mathin' right, and it says that humanity ends in a few months. I feel like Dusk is going along with what people predict him to do because deep down, brother Dusk is still trying to figure out a way to escape his coming fate and getting murked by Demerzel. They then share some cutie pie time and, we go from there. Later, Gale's catching feelings and Pritchard's catching creep vibes. He's literally standing over her cryo chamber like a freaking Disney villain. Then he starts monologuing about why they can't have a normal life. Like, this is so unfair. We should just be thinking about us. And Gale's like, sir, we are not in a rom-com. We are trying to save the galaxy. But he keeps pushing, talking about Salvor. Bro, stop. This is that kind of I'll betray the mission for you energy that gets people possessed or exploded. I don't trust it. We then switch to the hardest working hamster in the galaxy. When Brother Day, oh snap! Brother Day hits the Cleonic archives and literally calls up a hologram of Big Daddy Cleon the First. And we get a good look at Cleon during the peak of his reign, looking like Space Alexander the Great at his most magnificent, golden armor and all. Day wants answers about the Mycogen incident. Cleon explains how Emperor Baranus hung most of the robot sympathizers. Turns out Cleon also found the tools to fix Demerzel and fell in love with her. Day, petty as ever, spits on the floor like he's in a telenovela. He's playing with fire and doesn't even know how flammable his ass is. Am I the only one who noticed how Cleon the First looked like he was ready to Demerzel this dude? He's got another Cleon in the fridge. It's really not a problem. Next up, Day walks in on Demerzel doing some neck maintenance, using those very tools from Mycogen, and you can see the gears turning. Day distracts her with small talk, steals one of the tools, and gets her to explain robotic intimacy. Demerzel shares that she was designed to operate with other machines and even has the ability to clasp with another machine. That sounds suspiciously like Android Tinder to me. And Day is skeptical, right? He's skeptical that Demerzel as a robot has any room for feelings in any way, especially the way that she broke Day's heart and what she did with Song. He's scorned, and he's about to do some scornful stuff as a result. We then switch to Brother Day chilling in Willis's house, playing with his kid, Adonis, yeeting on the furniture, eating snacks, talking reckless. Even Willis's wife is like, yo, whose ferret is this? And I mean, yo, Foundation is really running a whole effing theme of just petty disrespect this season. The levels. I mean, let's process this for a second. I feel like that this is now beyond just regular Bronx antics. And I honestly think we done wandered our asses into bugged out Brooklyn behavior. Yeah, this is feeling real East New York-ish. Day is ready to get going now and lets Willis know that he's gonna make a run to rescue Song while he's at it. We get a full Final Fantasy VII speeder bike chase, and don't at me, that's straight up Midgar vibes. Dawn pulls up on Gale in a paper-thin disguise. He tells Gale that he saw the mule, and homie did not put any respect on his name and started low-key talking smack about how he ain't scared of the Empire. Dawn might be in over his head. And Gale rubs salt in the wound by pointing out how Dawn was followed. We go back with Day, and we finally see the betrayal we all knew was coming. And I knew it. I called it. This dude has been trying to play Day from the beginning, and Day was just playing dumb this whole time. He plugs this man in the head, hits him with the nanites, and bounces. Brilliant, petty, brutal. Peak Cleon behavior. We then switch to Demerzel staring at that painting wall, and she's sitting in a section where we see what looks like a robot's... Screw it, no. I'ma just say it looks like Demerzel on the mural wall, her robot face, with Demerzel just studying it. And then she gets the alert. Brother Day's nanites are offline. She checks her gear, realizes her tool is missing, and you know what time it is. Chase mode activated. Back with Gale and Dawn, they're being chased by Empire's guards. Gale goes full Jean Grey, psychically shielding them from their view. She tells Dawn, come with me if you want to live. But let's be honest. If those nanites are still in his system, Gale's bringing a tracking device straight to her new hideout. Well, guess she's gonna find out the hard way. We then get a closing shot of Day making his way down the Mycogen to save his woman, and then end credits. And woo! Y'all still here, right? This episode hit us with nanite betrayals, romantic red flags, Terminator Demerzel, mule mind games, and a speeder bike chase that made me yell, yup, Midgar. Foundation's not easing into tension this season. They're pulling up in full riot gear. And that title, The Stress of Her Regard, it nails the vibe. When Demerzel's watching, when the mule's whispering through memories, when Empire's got tabs on your DNA, you don't breathe easy. You stress hard. So let me know what hit hardest. Drop your favorite moment in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you're plotting against the Empire, maybe don't keep your nanites turned on. Until next time, keep your prime radiance close and your programming even closer. I'm gonna check you all later. Peace.